Hello everybody, welcome back. I'm MrRedClaw. Welcome back to some more World of Tanks. Before we get to wide head down below, like and subscribe, it's just support a lot. And let's get right into it. First of all, you might hear that the replay is slightly broken. You can't hear the engine noises once again. Had this bug a couple months back. I don't really know what the problem is. Can't fix it, but I guess we're going to be with some electric tanks this time around as we watch Air Killer play in the Rhm Borsig Waffenträger. Of course, one of the many tier 8 German tank destroyers. Of course, this being one of two now, kind of in the tech tree. Of course, the no, was it the third one that's not in the tech tree anymore? Or, no, I think it's the Jagdpanther 2. But of course, this being the more stealthy, with the bigger gun. Of course, you can choose to have the 128mm gun as well, but you can also have this 150mm gun, which does 750 alpha damage on average per shot. But for that higher alpha damage, you do sacrifice quite a lot of penetration, going down, let's see, from, what is it, 246 to 215, and on your premium rounds to you actually have better premium rounds this one, 311 compared to 334. But of course, with the bigger gun, less accuracy, longer reload, you lose more camo whilst firing, and that's actually quite huge for a sneaky tank like this. Worse dispersion values, and all of that other kind of stuff that you would normally get with a bigger gun on any tank in the game. It's just more cumbersome, but in some situations it is better. And of course, doing 490 damage compared to 750, that is a huge jump, and you might have worse DPM, dispersion and all of that, but I'd kind of like this gun a lot more in kind of like a city brawl when you're against heavy tanks, because you can out-trade them. You take, let's say, 490 per shot, and you can deal 750 compared to 490. That would already be a really good trade, but with this it's just even better, as Air Killer, kind of a slow start over here, put in a good shot in the T95, who then got shot down by the EBR90. But now, a couple minutes into this game now, still only that one shot. Is he going to be able to put in any more shots on all of these tanks? There's literally 5 tanks in front of him. He doesn't know which tank to choose, as he gets really lucky over there. Now, that actually looked like the shell actually missed the T10 over there, but apparently, according to Wargaming servers, it went through, tracked him, even though we clearly saw the shell go behind the tank. But you know, 774 damage is 774 damage. You're going to take that any day of the week, as he puts in a follow-up shot into the WZ-11114 for 805. When I played the Borsig, I kind of changed around. I kind of first started with the 128. Then I kind of had to play around with the 15cm gun that Air Killer is using today. Then I kind of switched back to 128 because it's just more reliable, I guess it was for me. And if you don't get on like a city map, it's just really frustrating not to be able to put in shots consistently at your opponents. But it doesn't seem that Air Killer over here is having any troubles, as he puts in another huge roll towards the object 257, hitting him in the side of the turret, which, of course, that tank really heavily armoured from the side, from the front, even from the rear, it's quite good. So I guess the accuracy good enough to shoot the side of the turret of that tank. Now, what else is good about this tank? Of course, the camo rating is excellent. Really sneaky, and of course you have a turret, so if you do use something like a camo net, like Air Killer is using over here, which I personally wouldn't use, but you know, to each their own, it really helps. But the bad things about this, of course, is the top speed, 35 kilometers an hour forwards, I'm pretty sure 12 backwards, but I could be wrong over there. as he shuts down the object 257. A slow start without gathering up momentum in this game, and he does need to, because they are 1 tank down and 1.8 thousand damage down in this game, and they have lost the center of this map. The enemy team have definitely taken over there, and it looks like there's a lone CS59 who just gets shut down by the Scorpion Jew, who pushed the enemy base, ran out of teammates, and died for that. Now, as I said, not the best top speed, but what doesn't make it that good is the horsepower per ton ratio. It is really bad for a tank. It's actually under 12, so you are really moving around like a slower heavy, and you know, a heavy does move a lot slower because it has loads of armor, but this basically has none. Just fire high explosive at it basically anywhere, and you're going to be able to go through and do a lot of damage to this tank, and that's what you should be doing to take out this really dangerous tank. Let's see the view range. I don't really know. 360, yeah, that's not really that good. And Airkiller doesn't look like he's using, well, he isn't using the binoculars. Doesn't look like he's using coated optics as well. Don't think you can use vents because this is open topped, right? So you can't use that. And it doesn't look like he has the best of cruise aid. He isn't using a food consumable, so his view range isn't that good. At least he has the camo there. It's not going to be the most useful thing over here, but I guess that's better than having nothing. And it's really weird just not hearing the engines at all. But we're just going to carry on, as there are 2 tanks down now. Make that 1.6 thousand damage down. But, you know, that's about 2 high rolls in this tank, and you're basically sorted, and you're back in the game. So they still have all to play for, but there is still a full health Centurion 1 on the enemy team, along with a T95 who hasn't taken any shots yet, as the Object 257 on Airkiller's team takes out the WZ 111-14 on the enemy team. And as you can see, most of Airkiller's team over here is a one-shot. The Centurion 7-1 is a one-shot, EBR90 is a one-shot. The only thing that isn't a one-shot is Airkiller himself, but he could probably get, you know, one-shot by the T95 if he is using high explosive. And, you know, the Object 257, I guess he can still take a couple of shots, and of course with his armor can bounce quite well, as Airkiller is trying to kind of lock down this 705-2 and the T10 in the center of the map, as the Centurion 1 actually makes a move over here, push for their EBR it looks like, but he misses, I'm pretty sure, and the Centurion 7-1 on the Airkiller's team was actually trying to flank him. That is the perfect move, and it looks like he actually gets taken out. So Centurion 1 must have known that the Centurion 7-1 was going around, and he gets taken out. That is definitely not what you want when you're down so many tanks at such a late stage of the, well, not so many tanks, but quite a couple hit points so late on in the game. You really need to make every tank, you know, you need to make every shot count in every single tank, as the Centurion 1 is trying to get the side of this Object 257. Is he going to go out and take a shot from Airkiller over here? I guess we are going to see. And that's kind of the stuff I kind of really don't like about the Borsig. You don't have the armor to kind of push. You are really slow, so you're not going to make too many plays, as Airkiller misses the shot on the Centurion 1. But I really enjoyed the Borsig, but I just liked the WT Alpha Panzer 4 and the Gorilla a lot more, because they just have the mobility. They of course still don't have any armor, but they still have really excellent guns, and they have the mobility, especially the Gorilla 15. Of course, after the buff, it's a lot slower than it used to be at the start, but it still has a huge edge over the Borsig over here. You can actually get to places, move flanks from one side of the map to the other, and with this one you kind of feel that you're locked to one flank when you get there towards the start of the battle, because it is just a lot slower, and you kind of need to think that through when you are planning to go places, as Airkiller loads a high explosive anti-tank shell over here, and these have loads of penetration, but not aiming that shell fully in towards the T95's lower plate, which this heat rounds would absolutely butter their way through, but he didn't want to take a shot from him, and that is fair enough, you know, took the risk and tried to get that shell out quickly, but didn't want to risk actually getting hit by the T95, as that would remove the majority of his remaining hit points, as the object 257 actually gets around the T95, puts in a good shot, but the T95 thinks that the Borsig over here is the more deadly target. I guess it could be. I don't know, I kind of would turn towards the object 257 as a tank misses a shell towards the Borsig over here, Air Killer, but then he does get hit by the T10 as Air Killer makes the move on the T95, gets the back of him just to make sure that shell is going to go through, takes him out up to 6,000 damage in this game. Only 2 kills though, so that is about 3,000 damage per kill, which is you know, quite nice. Now Air Killer over here tells the EBR to go cap. That is the perfect thing to do, I think. We know that the Centurion 1 is right ahead of us. The T10 is in the middle. We haven't seen the 703-2 in quite a while, but for all intents and purposes, he is still probably in the middle. I guess we're going to see. But the EBR still kind of not really sure where to go, as Air Killer takes out the Centurion 1 and the Object 257 takes out the T10. So the only tank left is the 703-2. Where is he going to be? There he is. Spots the EBR-90. Is the EBR-90 going to get hit by him? No, he isn't. He runs away. Is Air Killer going to get a shot into the 703-2? If there was no houses there, I think that actually would have gone through. But the EBR doing the right thing, running away. Looks like towards the cap circle now, or maybe is going to make his way over there soon, as Air Killer is trying to make his way down towards a place where he could go after the 703-2. That is a really deadly tank, of course, with the 2 cannons. If he misses one shot, of course, he waits about, what was it, 4 seconds, 5 seconds, and then he has that other shell ready, locked and loaded, and ready to fire to kill the Borsig over here. But we're going to see what happens over here. For, you know, they really got to watch out over here, Air Killer's team, because the 703-2 could one-shot, of course, the Borsig over here, the EBR-90, and he could put in both shots towards the Object 257 and kill him straight away. So it might look like it's one. You know, they're up 2 tanks now, up 638 hit points, but they're still going to watch out. Air Killer does the right thing, tells the EBR to go cap again. He does, and then tells the Object to wait and say that they are going to go at him 2 at once. You know, you see the games, many games, where you see the last remaining tank, and there's about 5 other enemies, and they all go at him one by one, and he takes them out, wins the game, gets a collar balance medal, you know, high caliber, all of that good stuff. Air Killer has seen this more than once probably, as he gets spotted by the 703-2 who was actually over there. Bounces a shot that was just kind of fired, hoping that would go through. It didn't though. The Object 257 now advances, but actually saw that the 703-2 was coming towards him, so actually stops. I probably would have gone for it if I was the Object 257. I know that I probably have more armor, I can at least take one shot. But I guess he's waiting for Air Killer over here, and that could be the right thing as well. You never know what could happen. And Air Killer takes out the 703-2, picks up his 4th kill. Absolutely brilliant game with the Borsig. Really enjoyed this tank when I played it. The mobility not the best. Let's look at the post-game stats. Let's see how well Air Killer did in this round of World of Tanks. So of course it's going to be an ace tanker for Air Killer over here, along with a high caliber, of course, you know, 7,000 damage done, 4 kills, 1,664 base experience. Just a really solid game for the Borsig. Fired a couple heat rounds and lost 8.2 thousand credits profit, as he isn't running a premium account. But, you know, not really that many credits lost for such a good game. I probably would have given up double the credits of this to have such a brilliant game. As I said, really enjoyed the Borsig. The mobility was kind of the weakest point over there, but still a really decent tank. But for now, let's go. So if you guys enjoyed, like, share, subscribe. See you guys next time. Bye bye.